and welcome to your daily Farm and Home Show, brought to you by the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Service. And now, here's your host.
Good morning, I'm Joanna Coles, and this morning we're visiting with Jay Stone. He's the Christian County Extension Agent for Agriculture and Natural Resources. Good morning, Jay.
How are you?
Jay, I'm great, and I know Christian County is hopping with harvest and all the vehicles up and down the road, just like it is here in South Central Kentucky.
A lot of grain trucks going up and down the road and a lot of implements soon to be following them. So yeah, the roads are pretty busy right now with farm equipment.
And I know that you have some tips to share about regulations, just to make sure, because there are so many vehicles on the road, that everybody knows what those regulations are.
They are. You know, one of the biggest things to think about right now is the fact that with implements coming up and down the road, you've got to think about lead vehicles or escort vehicles going up and down the road with them, especially combines moving up and down the road. Keep in mind on most two-lane roads where it's safe enough, it's okay for your escort vehicle to be pulling a header along with it, you know, to actually be serving as a tow vehicle too. On four-lane roads, that's not allowed. So that's one of those little things that a lot of people need to keep in mind. If you're in a long enough convoy, you have to have a rear escort vehicle following up as well, and it cannot serve as a tow vehicle.
And you know, a lot of times, Jay, people get busy this time of year, and sometimes we forget about that because we're trying to get to the next field, get that, whatever we're in harvesting right then.
Busy and short-handed, because you've got people trying to work one area while some people are going ahead and moving equipment to another area. A lot of times those escort vehicles are something that get left off.
And you know, for the consumer, if they're traveling those roads, what does that escort vehicle, what does that usually dictate to them?
You know, what it should dictate, or what it should put you in the mind of, is the fact that something is coming that is outside of the ordinary or outside of the normal. Now in Christian County, it's pretty ordinary to see combines going up and down the road, but it should dictate should be an alert or a red flag that something big is coming, something outside of ordinary is coming, and you need to take precautions.
And you know, if you're on a small back road, you might just need to go ahead and pull into a driveway, because a lot of those roads don't have enough room for a combine and a vehicle to pass.
That's exactly right. And you know, that even brings into mind, when you're talking about escort vehicles, the proper distance for an escort vehicle is 300 foot or closer. And on some of our back roads, especially small curvy roads, if they're 300 foot away, that's 100 yards. They may be clear out of view around another curve. So it may be a while before you actually meet that farm implement. So keep in mind that it's okay to shorten those distances and stay a little closer together if you need to.
Absolutely, because you know, they move pretty fast for as big as they are, but not as fast as your vehicle.
Exactly. And that brings you in mind, you know, to leave plenty of room for the stopping distance, because they are bigger, they take longer distances to stop than a normal passenger vehicle.
And you know, a lot of times if you get behind something slow and you're waiting, you have a tendency to maybe want to look at your phone or something like that.
Or ease out, start looking around.
But we really need to stay alert.
That's the time to be paying the most attention, is whenever you get behind a vehicle like that.
Absolutely. Now, you were mentioning that you have a kind of a resource that talks about farm vehicle regulations.
Sure. I just made a quick printout before I left home. Kentucky Farm Bureau makes available to all of their members a farm vehicle regulation guide, and it has updated every year. It has all the regulations, not only for farm implements, but for farm trucks. We get a lot of questions about USDOT numbers, when they're necessary and when they're not. What you can do with farm plates on a vehicle, or what limited farm plates are. There are two types of farm plates. So this guide is handy. It's updated every year. We thank Kentucky Farm Bureau for doing that, because it puts a handy piece of information together for everybody to pick up.
Okay, and so where can they get this? Is this online?
It's available online. You can print it off from the KFBM website.
All right, and so it doesn't only have vehicle regulations about like combines and escort vehicles. It has about weight. You know, we get a lot of calls about lawn mowing operations with trailers and different things like that, and sometimes it can be confusing.
It can. Now, one thing to keep in remember, if you've got farm plates, they are for personal use or for farm use only, and you can't be using them for hire in an outside business. So lawn mowing businesses and things like that are using tow vehicles with farm plates are not exempt. They're not allowed. So.
And so it's probably better to go ahead and get this, figure out what you need to do, what regulations are, because if you get to the opportunity where you're pulled over, I didn't know, a lot of times doesn't go very far.
That's right. You know, ignorance is no excuse for the law. This book is put together with the Kentucky State Police, so it's as up to date and concise as can be.
All right, so if you have a farm vehicle, you need to know regulations. print this off. Jay gives them out. So if you're in Christian County, you can just go into his office and we'll be happy to do that as well. But it's important to know what those regulations are. Make sure that you're complying with those. So Jay, certainly appreciate you coming and visiting with us today and bringing us this information.
Glad to do it.
And if you have any questions, make sure to contact your local extension office.
If you have questions about today's topics, please call the Warren County Extension Office at the number on your screen. Thanks for watching and have a great day.